Hello, this is Albert from Band of Brothers Airsoft Group, and the gun you're looking at right now probably looks very funny. It's because I took off the slide in the recoil spring. Now, for you guys that do not know how an airsoft gun works, this is essentially how it works, I guess. That's the best way I can say it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do just step-by-step explanation how airsoft gun works. Now this is a spring gun, and that basically means you have to manually cock back the gun in order to fire it. Now I also have an AEG right next to me that basically uses an electric motor to do the exact same thing that you're doing with your hand. Now I do not have a gas gun, but I'll get one eventually. They're really expensive, and I'm not playing enough airsoft to need one right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to do step by step. So I have a magazine, and actually this is not loaded, as you can tell. This is loaded. So we're going to get my loaded magazine, and what we're going to do is do a step by step presentation of how a airsoft gun works. So you insert your magazine, right? Then you pull the slide back. The slide will pull back on this piston, and I don't know if I can do it right now. And there's a sear set in the down here that will catch onto the bottom of this piston. And I think I should use some white BBs so you guys can see it better. There's a black BB. Here's a white BB. Black BB. Okay, so you pull it back, and then as you can see, there is a BB there, right? So the recoil spring will slide the slide forward, and it just basically compresses. And then as you pull it back, and compresses, and when you release it, it goes forward. And it hooks onto this spring guide right here. So then when you release the slide, the piston goes forward. And then as you can tell, it goes up a ramp into the barrel. Okay? And hold on, there we go. Okay, so it's locked. Okay, and as soon as you pull the trigger, I'm not going to pull the trigger because I know it's going to like basically explode on me. So easier way to do it is just to release the tension, and then you basically know how it works. The piston slams forward, creating a air bubble basically, and then goes into a nozzle and goes out through the barrel. And so that's basically how an airsoft gun works. Now, a gas gun, I think, I may not be 100% sure on this, but the gas will power the BB forward. It's in a reservoir in the magazine, and it hits a primer over here and releases gas and to shoot. And so that's basically how a gas gun works. Now, an AEG, on the other hand, this is my KWA M16, and what basically happens is that you have a battery back here that's providing the source, and you have a wire that leads to a motor, which is in here. Then the motor has a pinion gear. Sorry, something was about to fall. I had to catch it. But the motor has a pinion gear that that rotates, and so that will catch on to the bevel gear, which basically turns from lateral to a longitudinal force. Then it goes into the spur gear, which is a ratio gear. So instead of X a number of rotations, it turns into Y number of rotations. And then next it'll go into the sector gear, which basically pulls the piston back. And so I haven't taken apart my gearbox completely yet, but I can tell you guys basically how an AEG works. So I'm going to just take it apart really quickly here. Okay, and so what's going to happen is that there's a piston that's in here, and the easier way to do it. Okay, you see this piston right here? This piston is right now is in the middle of a cycle, and so it's there's an anti-reversal latch right here that's preventing the piston from going forward and messing up the motor. So right now it is in a half cock position, and it creates a lot of tension on the spring, and this is why you need to fire in semi a bunch of times to offset the spring tension that you used in auto. And so do it in semi a few times so you don't see the piston. See, even though you shot once in semi, it still had showed the piston. And then it's getting less, and then that's basically it. Now this right here is called the cylinder, and basically that holds the air for the piston to shoot forward. And now over here there's a piston port for the air to go in during its cycle. You can see the piston in here functioning, I guess that's the best way to call it. So that's how it happens. And your gearbox may look a little bit different than this because everyone has different gearbox. So I don't know if you guys can see it. Go ahead and zoom in a little bit here. Okay, so that is the air nozzle, and every time you fire, the air nozzle moves back, or sorry, moves forward to engage a BB that is coming from the magazine. The BB goes through this little hole, and then when you pull the trigger, as you can tell, the nozzle goes forward, shoots the air out, then travels down the barrel. If I can get the barrel. Hold on a sec, trying to be one man. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, so I'm going to take the barrel out. Okay, this is called a two-piece hop-up system, which basically means there's two pieces to the hop-up. Okay, that's the second piece, and this is the first piece right here. That's the BB feeder. And so most other guns that have a one piece, the BB feeder is incorporated to the thing that's attached to the barrel. So this is a hop-up system. Basically that means it creates backspin on your BB to make it fly a little bit further by creating lift. And so this is your average two-piece hop-up. I don't have a one-piece. I'll do a little takedown on a one-piece later. So there are only a few pieces of the hop-up. So the first piece to take apart the hop-up is a C-clip. And what you're going to do is you're going to, I think I'll probably have to zoom in. Probably be easier on you guys. Okay, so you're going to get the C-clip out, just getting a small flat head and flying it out, and prying it out, sorry. And then remember to turn your hop up all the way up. That means turning it in this direction, counterclockwise. If you turn it clockwise, it will engage the hop up, and then you might mess up your gun. And oops. Okay, if you guys can see it, I doubt that you can, but it's worth trying. Probably have to get my flashlight. Hold on. Okay, here's my little cheapy flashlight, and it works great. I have no idea where I got it, but I just found it laying somewhere. Okay, so this is what you should see in your hop-up. I probably should keep it down there. Okay, you see those two little nubs? This is KWA2GX version. That means there are two little nubs to create a better backspin on your hop-up. Now, most other guns only have a single nub, and that's because they're trying to be cheap. No, I'm just kidding. It's because, I don't know. I don't know why they don't do it. Okay, this is your little brass spacer to space your barrel in your hop-up unit. And then this is your actual hop-up bucking. So you're going to slide that off. And then basically what hop-up does is that as a BB travels down the barrel, a little, I forgot, a nub, I think, will push down against the top of the hop-up. And it'll create a backspin on the BB, creating high pressure on the bottom, low pressure on top, I believe, or is backspin. Yeah, okay. High pressure on top, low pressure on the bottom, or I forgot. Anyway, it makes the BB fly upwards, and so that's to offset the effects of gravity. And so that's why you can see, like, BB guns, they don't have hop up. You can see BB guns, basically their bullets go straight down. And Airsoft, you can see them kind of glide upwards and then go down. And so that's basically what hop up does. And I don't want to take apart my gun. I already did that and it was a pain in the butt. So I'll probably do another video on that. And this is basically Airsoft 101 on all the questions that a new person in Airsoft probably needs to know. And if you're asking what gun is the best to buy, it's purely on opinion, so no one can really answer that for you. And same with manufacturers. Of course, some manufacturers are a lot better than others, but even the worst ones are actually pretty decent for your type of playing level. Like, obviously you won't find obviously you won't get a K2A when you only been playing Airsoft for about like 2 days or something, unless you're like one of those 6-year-old people with rich parents that will buy their kid anything. But that's their own problem. And the more advanced, the more people you talk to in Airsoft, the more knowledge you get. And I've been playing Airsoft for only about 3 years, and the people I've talked to are completely awesome. I want to thank the guys over at Infected Airsoft for telling me all this great tech stuff. I want to thank Airsoft GI, Tim, for showing us all this great stuff. Also, I want to thank MechBox for doing the tutorials. And then, let's see, Airsoft Atlanta for bearing with me while I asked so many questions. So I want to thank y'all for helping me understand Airsoft a lot more. And just keep up the good work. And yeah, just thank you. And so that's basically how these two types of Airsoft gun works.